International School registered here in Malaysia in 2008. We are actually officially under the Ministry of Education of Malaysia, and we are running the British curriculum and the Cambridge curriculum. We have the IGCSE, all the students from year 1 to IGCSE, which is year 11. We offer A-level also, but since the cost is very expensive and the duration is more than 1 year, so some of the students are not interested to continue the A-level in Cambridge curriculum. So that's why we thought that we add on the Canadian Pre-University Diploma, which is actually about 1 year, board-wide recognition, and it's actually based on the online. So they got many advantages. So later, Mr. Fernandez will present to you. So Marefat International School is located in Jalan Ipoh, Kampung Kasipilay. We are in actually 6-story building. You can always go to our website and our Facebook, you can get the information, and we are welcoming you to come to a school to have a school tour. So about the Canadian curriculum, this program is for those students that they already completed the SPM O-level, IGCSE, or any other courses that which is for the year 11 students. So this course, Canadian Pre-University Diploma, known as CPU and CIMP, but at the end of the day, they get the awareness or the certificate of OSSD. So even you study in Canada, you study in Malaysia or any university, the certificate that issued by Ministry of Education Canada, that is the OSSD, which is everyone can take that actually, and they are sitting for these exams. The course, let Mr. Fernandez discuss and present the entire course. Then we'll go and discuss about the fees and the actually a scholarship we have for our own student, and also the new student they can join and benefit the fees, which is actually lowest now at the moment in Malaysia.
Mr. Jafar, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me just set up my. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I already introduced you, but one more time, Mr. Fernandez.
Yeah.
Representative and, of the Canadian curriculum in Malaysia. So I actually asked him to help us today to present and answer your question if you have any. So after his presentation, we can ask the question. Here you are, Mr. Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Jafar, and everybody. Very good afternoon to you, and welcome to Marefat International School and this initiative for the Canadian curriculum for the August 2020 intakes. I'm going to right away, before I share the screen, let me introduce myself. My name is Sabio Fernandez. I represent the Toronto College 8 Toronto eSchool and Linkland. We sit on a campus in Canada, in Ontario, a province there, in Toronto, on Metropolitan Street. And we invite students to study at Marefat International in Malaysia for its on-site programs, and also invite students to study on our campus in Canada at Toronto Scholars Collegiate. We offer the Canadian Pre-University Diploma, which is a grade A-level equivalent or Malaysian STPM equivalent qualification that allows students direct entry into university. Now, I'm going to be sharing these slides with you, and I'm quite certain that you would have questions, and please feel free to voice up. I can see all of you, or most of you, are muted. If you are unable to unmute yourself, please raise your hand, and Mr. Jafar would help us to raise the question for you. I'm going to be sharing a slide now. Please let me know that you are with me on each slide. There are times when some of us are on slide 1 and others on slide 2. Please fail to start. Please try again later.
Hello, sir. This is Rezai speaking, and I am with you. We are hearing, and In case of any question, we will be asking you. Thank you very much for your coming to the live. Thanks.
Thank you, Rosario. Very nice to hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I am with my boiler suit. I am in the ship and in the operation. So please excuse.
Oh, that's nice.
It's
that's
okay.
an interesting place to be right now. Okay. Okay. Tell me that you're
Yes,
able
thank
to,
you.
most welcome. Are you able to see the slide? Everybody, are we able to see the screen on this computer, on your computers? Are we able to see the screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, we are able to see you.
Okay, great.
You are able.
Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Once again, my name is Savio Fernandez. I'm coming to you from Toronto Scholars College, Toronto School and LinkLearn. For those of you who have just joined, we all of us sit on the campus in Canada, in the province of Ontario, on Metropolitan Street in Toronto. Toronto Scholars College allows students from all over the world to come into Canada and study in Canada and achieve the Canadian Pre-University Diploma. Toronto eSchool extends this program to anybody across the globe, and they could achieve the Canadian Pre-University Diploma from any location. And in this case, it would be Marefat International School. LinkLearn provides the technology and the courseware and the curriculum from grades K to 12. So this presentation is for the Canadian Pre-University Diploma and entry to universities worldwide. The curriculum is all the way from kindergarten all the way to grade 12. Today's discussion is going to be specifically on the grade 12 at Marefat International for the August 2020 intakes. I'm moving to slide 2. Let me know if you are not there yet. Yeah. Now, this is the Canadian Pre-University Program is registered and inspected by Ministry of Education Canada. It has worldwide recognition. It is an A-level equivalent, or in your countries, you may call it as grade 12. In Malaysia, they call it STPM, or the South Australia, in Australia, it's the grade 12. So it stands as a grade 12 entry to universities. Next, university acceptance worldwide. Now, this program offers students a direct entry into university year 1 anywhere in the world. Always there's a question, who can register for the Canadian Pre-University Program now? Students who have part completed grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, part completed SPM or O levels, or part completed A levels, or just dropped out of school, or they have completed everything and are not getting entry into university, they could just port all their marks and join the Canadian Pre-University, achieve the diploma in 9 months, depending on the number of courses or subjects that they need to take, and they would enter universities worldwide. How do students benefit from this Canadian Pre-University Program? Now, before I continue, because of protocol from the host, you are unable to raise your hand or raise a question at every slide. Please keep a notepad by your side and take notes, and I will be open to questions, as the host said, at the end of the presentation. Now, how do students benefit from the Canadian Pre-University Program? That's simple. Students can study and complete the program in 9 months or less. In fact, students can challenge the grade and do faster if they want to. They can study from Iran, from India, from Bangladesh, from Malaysia, in this case from Marefat, who's going to be running it for you. There is no exam stress or need to memorize. There is no checkpoint of 10th grade, 11th grade. You just work towards your 12th grade and you work towards university entry. There is no need for passive question practice and so on, because this is more, as you go on, you would find this program is more applied, and the assessment structure is like 70% assignment and 30% exam. It's entry to universities worldwide. And most importantly, when students study with us, they don't need IELTS to enter into our partner universities because of the CPU. What are the benefits now for parents? Parents, a lot of benefits actually. Parents are more concerned about the dollar going out of pocket. They save a lot of money. There's no external exam fees here. Textbooks are all provided. There's no need for really tuitions. But if a child is weak, yes, you can subscribe to some tutoring. They save on registration fees while you move from secondary school to a foundation college, or, you know, I finish my 11th grade and I want entry to university, I need to do a foundation or do another 12th grade program, where you don't have to spend money moving school or moving or paying additional registration fees. Parents also benefit. You see, over the past few months, kids have been all at home, whereas in Sri Lanka and India and even in Malaysia, students on our programs, despite the pandemic, they were continuing to study and they were continuing to take exams from where they are. And they will be graduating coming July because of certain exemptions that were offered by the school. That is, there is no need to do community service, no need to do the literacy exam, and they would achieve the diploma. So they save money and they save time and they reach university faster, even in time of pandemic. This, if you research, you would find, in all reality, there is no need to talk much. It is a gold standard qualification, a shorter route to university. The students now, students and parents, in fact, parents will be happy to hear that this qualification, when students study the CPU, they are treated differently. They get entry into Canadian universities, and it opens the door for permanent residency in Canada with the qualification and some work experience, which we will see on the subsequent slides. You would need to consult with a proper immigration consultant on that. We will just share with you the general trend among students and parents with what's going on. Also, the benefit. Parents would be happy to hear that students who are minors, the parent could join them and apply for a permit to stay in Canada as a guardian for the child. Next. How do I register for the Canadian Pre-University Program? Now that's pretty simple. All you need to do is give Marefat International School your transcripts. Whether you're coming after grade 9 or grade 10 or grade 11, or you're part finished or full finished and not getting acceptance into university, you submit all of your transcripts to Marefat International School, along with the IC or your identity card and or your passport, any government document that has your photograph and full name on it, all transcripts of grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, submit it to us, and we would come back to you in a few days and let you know how many subjects you need to do. Mind you, you don't need to redo your SPM or your grade 10 or your grade 11 or whatever is incomplete on grade 12. Just port your marks, as we said earlier. We will just let you know how many courses you need to do, 6 courses or 7 courses. Complete it and apply to any university worldwide. Canadian universities would give you 100% acceptance. I would say that is subject to the seats availability and subscription by others in particular programs. Like some programs in IT have a high subscription and you may not find a seat. But if you're applying for something else, you may find a seat very easily. So the CPU ends up 100% acceptance into Canadian universities, because this is a qualification issued by the Ministry of Education, Ontario, and immediately they're able to verify, validate the transcripts. There's no need for you to submit it. It's all online. And when you apply to Canadian universities through OCAS and OCAS, they are able to issue you the acceptance very quickly. Unlike you applying as an international student, where you're sitting in a very different room, you've got probably students from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Iran, from Bangladesh, all waiting to come into Canadian universities. That process may take a little longer because university or the body may need to check, verify, validate that documentation. It takes a bit of time. Whereas on the Canadian side with the CPU, everything is sitting on the central database. They just pull it through and you get your acceptance very quickly. What happens now after you register at Marefat International? After you register for the grade 12, this local school would provide you facilitators. We would provide you certified Canadian school teachers, and they would work along with the local facilitators to support you. So students benefit here. You're not having one teacher, you're having a facilitator as well in addition to that. Time zone is not a problem because on one side you've got your own teacher or facilitator on the ground, and on the other side you've got somebody in Canada who is OCT certified, and that's a requirement. Students would, as soon as you register, you would receive an enrollment number from the Ministry of Education, Ontario. That's an OEN number. Your transcripts, your final diploma, all of it is from Canada. For the grade 12, you would receive all of your textbooks free of cost, teacher notes, video interaction, ongoing applied assessment managed by our teachers, and the assessments are 70% contributing to final mark, and exam is 30%. Now, this is something that's important. This is what happens after you join the course. Probably Marefat runs 3 courses out of 6 courses in grade 12 for you to finish in 9 months. Say you're going in for English or business communication as chapter 1. Business communication as a course, or what you call a subject, has 10 chapters. Chapter 1, as soon as you finish it, there is a little assignment to do. Interesting assignment. For example, you've studied business communication, you know what business communication is, the principles of it. End of the chapter, a question comes up. Pick up a hobby, your hobby, and teach somebody who knows nothing about it. Take a video recording of it and post it back. So you do that. You get 6 marks or 7 marks on 10 or 8 marks on 10 to the final mark. Chapter 2, you are asked in business communication, probably after you study up communication, formal, informal. Chapter 2, go and talk to your dad, find out what kinds of communication happen in office. How do they divide the line between formal and informal? So the child goes and talks to the dad, gets his points, puts his reflection back into the system. He gets probably 5 marks on 5. That way, by the time the student completes 10 chapters, he's probably already got 60 marks or 55 marks towards the final mark. And the final exam is a 30% weighting. So students on this program fare pretty well because it is a teacher to a student who is managing the learning capability of the student from chapter 1 to chapter 2 to chapter 3 and guiding this child or this student with probably the prerequisites or with some additional tutoring via the facilitator. So we ensure that the student is supported well, achieves his or her goals for entry into X university and a particular program there. So that's how it works. It's a great experience. And this experience prepares students for university resilience. Next slide. While you're on the program, you are preparing yourself for most of the students on our programs, they are either preparing for science pathway, maybe to become a doctor, or science to become an engineer, or going in for business specialism, or going in for computing, or going in for accounting pathway. And these are the subjects that the universities would require for year one acceptance, and we provide exactly those courses. Next slide. Are you with me on the slide? This is a transcript. Please raise your hand. Do you see the word sample? Please raise your hand. Thank you. Everybody sees the word sample. Thank you for the confirmation. Now, this is exactly the transcript that students would be receiving across the world, wherever you're studying in a public school in Canada, studying in a private school in Canada, studying in Malaysia, studying at Marefat. Everybody gets this. As you can see over here on the left, on the top. And this is the enrollment number that's given to the student, that tracks the student, the date of birth, the date of entry into the program. These equivalent credits come from grade 9, 10, 11, and 9, 10, and 11. And these are the courses that this science student is pursuing to achieve the diploma. These are the marks. This is the total number of credits required in part to achieve the diploma, 30 credits. Usually with this, students already may apply to universities to get acceptance. Maybe universities would accept. Some universities, or most universities, would need 6 subjects in grade 12 here. I repeat, most universities would need 6 subjects in grade 12 here. Some universities may accept you with 4, some may accept you with 3 credits. Now, the student, once he's achieved those 30 credits, or even before he's achieved, or while in the process of achieving these 30 credits, he can do the 40 hours of community service, which is very simple. The school would assign you to a hospital to do some internship, or probably some cleanup activities, some community service activities. That's 40 hours, and they take a 2-hour literacy test, and they would achieve the diploma. So to achieve the diploma, in summary, to repeat, to achieve the diploma, in summary, they need to have these 30 credits. They need to have community service and the literacy test. Once they've done that, this is the diploma that the student would achieve. As you can see, it's called the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. We signed off and signed by the principal of the school, right? That would be Toronto School or Toronto Scholars Collegiate. That depends where the student is. Next. Now, this is a pathway to overseas residence and experience, as we said. Students can transfer to Canada or universities worldwide. Students complete the pre-university diploma in their home country or in Canada. Now, because they have a Canadian qualification, because they have some work experience in Canada, they can qualify to apply for permanent residency in Canada. Now, this students who finish the CPU, get into university, they may get a work permit as well as student permit. They're allowed to work for a certain number of hours. They earn a minimum wage of 15 Canadian dollars or 14 Canadian dollars per hour. And by virtue of the degree qualification and the work experience, they now make a calculated decision whether should I apply or not, and they could qualify for the permanent residency in Canada. After 2 years, they could apply for the Canadian passport. Next slide. Now, this program has high university admission rate across the world, including 100% acceptance in Canada. I have just put out for you a few Canadian universities. There's a lot more, and we say the acceptance is worldwide. This is what the next slide says. This is what the BBC had to say. You could Google this up. how Canada became an education superpower, and you will see the write-up over there at a click. These are the rankings, worldwide rankings of the CPU, PISA rankings, and you will see Canada over here at number 6 in the year 2016, and that has been going up through these past few years. We could send you write-ups on this if you are interested in reading it. These are some of the letters that you may be able to get from Marefat International, which is our licenses from the Ministry of Education Canada, showing you that students would achieve the award of the Canadian Pre-University Diploma at Toronto Scholars Collegiate, as you see on the left here, and also from Toronto School itself, right? As I mentioned, Toronto School and Toronto Scholars Collegiate are both on the same campus. Thank you, and I'm now open for your questions. I'll wait for the host to unmute us all. Thank you. Any questions? Sorry. Any questions? Okay, let me check with the host. It looks like
if anyone, actually I already unmute everyone, so anyone got question, they can one by one asking.
I can see some of us were raising hands. Not maybe you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, I already unmute, so you can unmute by yourself.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Fernandez. Do you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Rezai. Thank you very much for your explanation, and it is very good. And we will be continue with Marefat School about it for the more details. And my daughter is going to 11th grade. Definitely, she will be participating that one. I have another question. It is not about my daughter, about somebody else also. Is there any age limit for this system? I mean that if anybody is the university student at the moment and not finished their graduation, can they participate here? And what is the age limit for this purpose?
Great question. We get this question quite often, especially also within Asia. We have this question. Back in Canada, there is no age limit. We have students who, at the age of 14, complete the CPU. So students, the fabric or the texture of this program is a bit different. Students can challenge the grade and move up the levels to complete the CPU at their own pace, flexibly and quickly. So there is, to answer it in short, there is no age limit.
Okay, well understood. Thank you very much for your explanation. I'll be quiet and listening for the other people if they have any question. Thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome, sir.
Is there anyone got any question? Just to add on and complete what Mr. Fernandez presented. We are going to offer 6 subjects for our own students, and somebody cannot unmute. Let me unmute. Okay, sorry. We are going to offer 6 subjects, and if let's say there are a student able also to finish per term 3 subjects, so they are able to finish it by April 2021. So this is only available for this year, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Fernandez. So next year, it should be come to the regular, and it take about 9 months to 1 year to finish and get the diploma. But now the good thing also is that because since the Cambridge IGCSE exam postponed to October, November, but our own student no need to wait for the IGCSE exam. So now they can continuously, and in August they can continue the year 12, and they just finish it by next year. So no need to wait for the IGCSE exam.
Sorry,
from
Mr. Jaffa, is there a question for me?
No, actually they said that they cannot unmute, but actually I already unmute everyone, so you have to unmute by yourself.
Oh, okay. Everybody, please unmute yourselves. Let me. From my side, I'm unable to unmute anybody. Yeah, I don't have those rights.
So, Mr. Fernandez,
Oh,
can
yeah.
you hear me?
I can hear you clear.
I have a question. Like, I'm not done with my IGCSE completely. So, if I want to apply for this, I can just directly apply, right?
I'm speaking to Syed. Is that right?
Yep.
Syed,
Yes.
yeah. Could you repeat that for me, please?
So my question was, I'm not totally done with my IGCSE. So can I directly apply for this and keep on studying this?
Okay. Let me go a bit deeper here. Where did you do your IGCSE?
I did it in Malaysia, Marefat International School.
Wonderful. And okay, great. They would have all your transcripts, the 9, 10, and 11. Absolutely, you don't need to go back to do the IG or whatever you've not cleared, or wait for the exams. Submit all of those transcripts via Marefat. We will come back to Marefat in about 48 hours and tell you how many more courses you need to do. You can start off your course immediately. And if you want to move quickly, you should be able to graduate and go into university by July, say by March, April, you would be in university.
So as soon as I'm done with this course, I can shift to Canada, right?
Oh, absolutely. You would apply to universities via Marefat because of your files are with the school, and they should be able to get you the acceptance letters from universities, and certainly then you would proceed to apply to immigration for the student permit and work permit, or depending on the program that you're applying to university. Yes, it gives you a 100% acceptance into Canadian universities.